coming from the front door, and thankfully the person inside made it out, and the department quickly extinguished the fire, so overall no one was hurt, but the fire department did say this was all accidental. Now join us for the 9 o'clock hour of the morning show on WCIA3 as U.S. Senator Tammy Duckworth has a second term in Washington.
We'll tell you what's up first as she prepares for that second term. That's coming up in just a few minutes. We'll see you at 9.
This is your WCIA3 Forecast First, sponsored by CIBM Bank.
It's 9 a.m. on Monday, looking at the state capitol right now in Springfield, mostly cloudy skies. Some of that will give way to a little bit of sunshine later on today. We're already starting to see some cracks there. Out towards Pontiac, we're starting to see mostly clear conditions, but that's about it. Some cracks here and there of the cloud cover. 42 in Champaign, 42 in Decatur, and 31, one of the colder spots there in Pontiac. They've been dealing with fog for this morning. The rest of us now getting into the 40s and 42 in Effingham as well. So what to expect for the day? Well, you're going to run into here across the region. We're going to see a chance for showers and thunderstorms. Also seeing a chance for some colder temperatures. More details on what to expect coming up in just a bit. But first, the 9 o'clock hour of the morning show starts right now.
Alrighty, Adam, thank you. And thank you at home for joining us. I'm Matthew White.
And I'm Karina Rubio. We have a lot in store for you in the next hour of the morning show. But first, here's a look at your eye-opener. Well, U.S. Senator Tammy Duckworth has a second term in Washington. What's up next on their agenda? And one woman is suing Kraft Mac and Cheese. We'll tell you why in our trending topics of the day. All that and more in store for you on the morning show, which starts right now.
You're watching your local news leader. This is The Morning Show on WCIA 3 News.
Well, U.S. Senator Tammy Duckworth is preparing for her second term in Washington as senator, and she has one target in particular that will be taking up her spring.
So our Capitol Bureau Chief Cole Hinkey sat down with her and will share what her goals are for the second term.
In her first 6 years, U.S. Senator Tammy Duckworth built quite the national profile. The war veteran who lost her legs in a helicopter crash even had her name floated as a vice presidential candidate.
I want to build on the work that I did in my first 6 years. In my first term, I was building up a body of work, moving over the things that I worked on in the House. And I'm going to continue to build on that work some of the legislation that I've passed, improve on those, and also to continue to try to pass legislation.
But now her second term is in front of her. She beat her Republican opponent, Kathy Salvi, handily in the election. Her first priority is the upcoming Farm Bill, a crucial piece of legislation that farmers will rely on for things like crop insurance. And one of her own projects is in it as well, biofuels.
I really see Illinois as the place where we're going to develop the technologies, where we're going to manufacture for the supply chain, and where we're going to be able to sell both those technologies and those products overseas for things that have to do with green energy.
Now, in other news, state revenue was also much higher than expected, so the governor just released his plan for that money.
Revenue estimates were way short of what the state actually brought in, thanks to inflation, federal cash, and improved economy. Now the governor wants to use that money to put more into the rainy day fund. He wants to pay off bonds that the state has had since the housing crisis in 2010.
Revised our revenue estimate upwards, and that is going to be a topic of discussion here between the administration and the General Assembly during veto session leading into the spring legislative session.
Deputy Governor Manar also says that reason the state is filling the rainy day fund is because they're expecting economic downturns and they want to set the money aside to avoid budget cuts down the road. In other news, 2 Decatur firefighters are hurt after responding to a house fire. This happened on North Main Street Sunday morning. Officials say a 2-story home was on fire with smoke coming from the eaves. Unsafe conditions prolonged the response, and crews were able to re-enter once the flames were under control. The person who lives there is now displaced. Their cat also died in the fire. The cause is under investigation.
Now, officials are also investigating an apartment fire that happened at an empty complex in Champaign. Crews were called around 1:30 in the afternoon last Friday, and that's when they went to Stonegate Drive and Mattis Avenue. One neighbor says she could see thick smoke, so she immediately called 911. Thankfully, though, officials say no one was hurt, but Mattis Avenue was closed for a short time because they ran their hose lines across the street. So there was also a small house fire in Champaign, but this time it was all started from the dehumidifier. This took place on West William Street, and crews say smoke was coming from the front door. Thankfully, though, the person inside made it out, and the department quickly extinguished the fire, so overall no one was hurt, but the fire department did say this was accidental. Well, we turn your attention to something new for you this morning. Hoopeston fire crews responded to a structure fire this past Sunday morning on Main Street between Route 1 and 9th Avenue. The fire department shared an update on Facebook that says several drivers ran over a fire hose and traffic cones, but still they were able to put out the fire and nobody was hurt, but those drivers were ticketed.
And a water main break has caused part of Hoopeston to be under a boil order. The city says Greater Hoopeston from West Main to West Thompson is affected, as well as North 6th Avenue to North Dixie Highway. They say this does not include the west side of North Dixie Highway. The order is in effect until further notice. You can head to WCIA.com for any updates. All right, and let's check in with Adam now that you're up to speed on the news.
Alrighty, Adam, we've got those partly cloudy skies behind you, but we're still hoping the sunshine will peek through today as well.
Yeah, we're hoping that we'll see a little bit of sun out there. It's still a possibility. We'll see a better chance for sunshine later in the forecast. However, that comes with the caveat of colder temperatures, but I'll save that for the full forecast. We're looking at Gibson City right now, looking at the baseball field. Not much going on right now. Cloudy skies here across the area. Temperatures in the 40s as you go across the region. So keep that in mind, that temperatures On the cool side, 32 in Pontiac, the coldest spot in our viewing area. They've been contending with fog all morning, and that's been keeping temperatures down here in town. 43 in Mattoon and 41 as you head to Paris. Now, we are seeing cloud cover still sticking around, but once you get to Fort Iroquois County into Livingston County, that's where you start seeing a little bit more of the breakup in cloud cover. Even some pockets there in Piatt and DeWitt County, also down into parts of Macon County too. So there's some spots there where we're seeing some mostly clear conditions come back briefly into the region, but we'll see a better chance of sunshine later on. Tuesday, Wednesday, we're windy, but we are also cold once we get to Wednesday. It's 2 different days here. 61 on Tuesday, late chance for showers and thunderstorms, some of those being strong to severe. We're going to keep an eye on that, but the bulk of the severe weather will be down to the south, closer towards Mississippi, and also towards down towards Arkansas as well. Windy conditions from that storm before the storm gets here and behind it as well. We'll start to see partly cloudy skies on Wednesday, but we'll see colder temperatures. 61 to 32. I mean, that's a huge drop in temperatures here.
I mean, that's from a sweater weather maybe to the pulling out the big coat.
From spring back to winter.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to have their fireplaces running too, so.
Then they'll have the AC or they'll have both. You know how it is. One minute it's warm, 1 minute it's cold.
Midwest feels.
Exactly.
All right, thanks, Adam. And now turning to our trending topics of the day. First up, a Florida woman is suing the Kraft Heinz food company. And here's why. She claims that the company is misleading the public about how long it takes to prepare their Velveeta mac and cheese cups. According to court documents, Amanda Ramirez alleges that Kraft violated federal law by saying the mac and cheese cups takes 3.5 minutes to prepare. But she claims the packaging says you need to microwave that product for 3.5 minutes specifically. However, you also have to remove the lid, add water, and stir in the cheese sauce, so it takes longer than 3.5 minutes. Ramirez is asking for $5 million in damages for Kraft misleading her as well as the public. Kraft Heinz has responded saying that the lawsuit is just frivolous and they will strongly defend these allegations.
I mean, that's pushing it. Someone sat there, took their time, went, all right, go for this process. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, yeah. Next one. Next one.
And then thought I need to file a lawsuit over that.
I don't see how that's a loss. I don't see how that's a lawsuit. Maybe just speed up the process.
I think it's common sense that the 3.5 minutes applies to the microwave time only, not the whole lid.
Apparently not, Karina. No. Apparently not.
There are other people out there like her too.
Oh, so I know. That's the same people that go, oh, the coffee's hot. You didn't tell me. It's like, well, it's on the label, so no one told you. I'm assuming if it's on the label, someone told you.
Or you could just make homemade mac and cheese.
Or you could just assume it was going to take more than 3 minutes. Come on. Come on.
Maybe 4 minutes if you take off add the lid time.
Oh, wait, that's 0.5 seconds right there. So therefore, yeah, see.
I wonder what the damages are. I mean,
there are no damages. Right? Who got hurt in this situation? Your feelings maybe, yeah. But
it'll be interesting to see what happens with that lawsuit.
All right, caramba. Kids, don't.
That's your word of the day today.
That's my word of the day. That's my word of the day, and I think
with the tropics.
I like it.
I just got the Bart Simpson mood in me today.
Oh gosh.
Kids, don't try this at home, or anybody for that matter. TikTokers are being warned against trying this strange viral cooking trend. Clips like this one showing a woman cooking steaks in a toaster. Not bread, steaks. Have been viewed millions of times. The videos have prompted fire officials to voice concerns that the practice could potentially cause accidental fires.
Ooh.
They are reminding people to only use electrical products for their designated use. I don't know about you, that doesn't sound good at all. That is. I know people like their meat rare or rarer than others, but that's too rare. That's not cooking all the way through. There's no way you're getting the right temperature. I'm not the biggest cook, but I can already sense that this is a bad idea.
And kids are not putting a steak in their toaster.
How are they getting the steaks?
Pop-Tarts usually.
Yeah.
So this is adults doing this?
I guess. That's like with the NyQuil chicken that came out a couple of
Please
years ago.
don't remind us.
Yeah, it's like the same, it has that same energy, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
I mean, anyone who does these or jumps in on these TikTok challenges, I mean, they want the views. I'm sure she didn't eat the whole steak, at least I hope not.
Gosh, it looks extra raw too when she ate it. Like, the outside looks fine, but the inside's got to be too raw. There's a limit to how raw you can go. I mean, before you start getting sick.
She even thought Sauce would help.
That's not gonna help. You need more. You need it cooked a little bit longer than that.
Much longer.
Slap those on the grill. Let's go.
There's a
Come
reason
on.
for grills.
Yeah. Speaking of Simpsons, there you go. There you go.
Somebody must have known you were in the feeling for it.
Hey.
All right, well, as Adam said, in our final trend, The Simpsons, as we know, may have gotten yet another prediction right, because in the past they've predicted Super Bowl winners and Trump's presidency, but now the show may have just been somewhat on par about Elon Musk.
Oh my God. Brace yourselves, family. We're about to meet a being with intelligence far beyond ours. Boy, give me my baseball bat.
Hello, I'm Elon Musk.
Die!
What the?
Well, Musk then tweeted a screenshot of this Simpsons episode back from 2015, and he said, quote, "Simpsons predicts I buy Twitter, season 26, episode 12. Well, that's not really what happens in this episode, but it does include a new technologically advanced birdhouse that has attracted several birds, which you'll see on your screen now."
I've seen that episode. I've seen actually a lot of Simpsons episodes. I used to be at my house the resident Simpsons expert.
Just kept it on in the background.
Oh, I have it on when I go to bed at times just to keep me, just to put me to sleep, because I've seen it so many times.
Comfort shows.
Yeah, it's a comfort show. I love that. I mean, I grew up with The Simpsons, so yeah, I saw that episode, and I remember, I'm like, did he buy Twitter? Hold up, now I gotta go online, look this up, and yeah, it was the birdhouse. I forgot about the birdhouse, but
That's eerily similar, though.
this isn't the first time they've done something where it's a
dozens of
loose
those.
connection between the two. But that's why I said I caramba. You know, that's
Not why you said it.
yeah, that's because I said it
That's
earlier.
on your mind.
That's on my mind. I saw it
It's
earlier.
your phrase of the day.
It is, but that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool that we've seen these predictions. But I think it's just really telling that what happened is that we've just gotten so crazy in this country or wild in this country that the Simpsons scripts clearly are now predicting the future. Like it's just a wild coincidence that our world has gotten so wild that it matches up with the Simpsons there in Springfield.
Yeah, record of history in the Simpsons show.
Oh, man.
All right, well, still to come here on the morning show, wise guy Paul Kwiat joins us live in studio, but he also has his own guest today.
That's right, and both of them are going to tell us how you at home could make a quantum computer in your free time, so make sure you stay tuned after the break. See you both again.
Nice to see you.
A little different than over there.
It is. I don't know what to do without props. There are props. Good, I have props. Something I can do.
Live from your local news leader, Karina Rubio, Matthew White, and Central Illinois' most accurate forecast with meteorologist Adam Sharinsky. You're watching The Morning Show at 9 on WCIA 3.
As always, we thank you for staying with us on The Morning Show. You at home have maybe wanted to build a quantum computer. Well, to most of us, that sounds pretty complicated, but we also have someone here to help explain it more.
That's right. Joining us on The Morning Show is wise guy Paul Kwiat, and we're also joined by a second guest, U of I physicist Professor Angela Koo. Thanks so much, both of you, for being here this morning. So go ahead and just jump in. Tell us what you guys are working on right now.
Yeah, so I've talked before about quantum information a little bit, and I had one of my other colleagues, Brian DeMarco, who works on one sort of platform for making quantum computers using atoms and such. And my colleague Angela here works on one of the other most popular platforms. I guess I do light, but she works on another thing using cold metals, basically.
Yeah, so in your kitchen, you probably have aluminum foil. And then so what we do is try to build a quantum computer using aluminum, so very, very pure aluminum foil, cooled down to very cold temperatures.
And hopefully people still have some left over from Thanksgiving, all those leftovers. But Angela, walk us through. There might be people at home who have that same idea of starting to build that computer. What's your approach? And then also, how does it encode information?
Yeah, so the idea is that our computers are based on bits. You can think of this as a switch. It can be an on or off, right? Quantum computers are based on a slightly different building block. It's known as a qubit. You can think of this more like a dimmer switch. It can be kind of on, kind of off, and this allows us to have more computing power compared with a classical computer for certain problems. And then so the idea is that we're trying to build these kind of dimmer switches so that they can be used in the future to solve materials problems or computing problems that anyone might have.
And can you guys expand a little bit more on what they will be used for and exactly how long they can run?
Okay, so right now we're still in our research stages, so we're trying to figure out the best way of building these building blocks that I mentioned for a quantum computer. And so we're trying to make them run as long as possible, but right now they're nowhere near classical computers, so it's still a research problem. But if we get them to the point where they can be useful, then we can try to use them to look for new materials, for new ways of optimizing traffic, or for new ways of making our computers faster.
Okay, and I think there's a talk that you're going to be having on Saturday coming up to maybe expand further for our communities who are interested. Can you walk us through what people can expect if they plan to go to your talk?
Yeah, so we're having a Saturday Physics for Everyone talk where we try to make the concepts that we're talking about more accessible. And then so what I'm going to be talking about is the difference between the computers that we use now and the computers that we want to build, and also our approaches for building these computers and why it's so difficult and why it's such a big research problem for trying to build a quantum computer.
All right, and for those who maybe want to head to that on Saturday, we had those details on your screen. What building is this on again on the U of I campus?
It's in Loomis Laboratory of Physics, which is on the corner of Green and Goodwin. And there's free parking both to the west side and the east side that you can come to. It is at 10:15, completely free. And we'd love to see lots of people out there and find out all about how to, maybe not how to make your own quantum computer, but what a quantum computer would look like, and even connections to other things we've talked about on the show before. So.
Yeah, maybe going to that talk first on Saturday would be a good step one. All right, Angela and Paul, thanks so much for being here this morning.
Thanks, everyone. See you guys later.
All right, make sure you stick with us. Adam has your forecast up next. We'll be right back.
Now, Central Illinois' most accurate forecast with meteorologist Adam Sharinsky.
And welcome back. Taking a look outside at Effingham right now. We've got mostly cloudy skies, and that's about it happening here in town. We've got a lot of cloudy skies across the region, some pockets here and there of some mostly clear conditions, but we haven't been seeing it a lot this morning, except for up in Pontiac where it's caused a little bit of fog at the surface. That's now starting to dissipate, but keeping them pretty chilly so far this morning. 32 freezing there in Pontiac, a little bit warmer around the rest of the region. 37 in Watseka, 42 as you head on out toward Champaign. Temperatures not warming up too much more. 47 for a high with partly sunny conditions here and there. I think we'll see a few glimpses of sunshine, but that's really it for the region. 39, mostly cloudy here. Winds from the south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. For tomorrow, 61, windy and warmer with partly cloudy skies here. The big driver in our forecast for tomorrow, those winds from the south up to 40 miles per hour in central Illinois. Now, notice that we've got some clearing skies by 4:30, so by sunset, we'll see a bit more sunshine there for Springfield, Taylorville, and Decatur, but from basically Champaign onward, we'll see mostly cloudy conditions for a good chunk of the day. Those clear skies don't last too long. Our next storm system's on its way, and we're going to see the cloudy skies bring some partly sunny conditions there. Once we get to Tuesday night, we're dry for much of Tuesday, but the evening hours, we start seeing showers start to move across the region and some rumbles of thunder. Thunderstorms start to develop here in central Illinois and move towards the east. Areas south of 72, the best spot of seeing some thunderstorms, and along I-74 as well. So basically from Champaign southward, we could see some thunderstorm activity moving through the region. Behind that, we'll see quieter and becoming clear conditions there for Wednesday. It's a powerful cold front here, and we have the dynamics with this system to give us the chance for some stronger storms. A marginal risk, 1 out of 5 here in parts of central Illinois, from Paris down to Effingham, Mattoon, and just outside of Taylorville. Some of these storms could bring hail, damaging winds, but the best chance for seeing tornadoes down to the south there along the Mississippi River. We're not going to see that activity, fortunately. Not saying we couldn't see a tornado or two, but I think the better chance for tornadoes south of our viewing area in southern Illinois, moving southward. So that's the good news, at least. Not a lot of instability with this system. Winds from the south pick up later tonight and continue on to tomorrow. Winds from the south up to 40+ miles per hour. These are maximum wind gusts, too, of 46 in Champaign. Then we just flip around, still pretty strong winds behind that cold front, bringing in more cold air as we go into Wednesday. Wednesday's temperatures are going to go from the 60s the day before to the 30s and 20s here during the day. There we go. We have a cold front pushing through, clear skies. That's going to bring us more cold, fresh air here into central Illinois. Keep things pretty chilly, but dry the next couple of days. We'll see another chance for some precipitation towards the end of the 7-day forecast. But you can really see on this graphic how much of a jump it is from 61 to 32 on Wednesday, Thursday 35. We stay in the 30s those 2 days with windy conditions from the north and west. Then we'll start to rebound a little bit closer to average temperatures as we go into the end of the 7-day forecast. So how cold is it going to get? Well, wind chill values are going to be a big factor as well. We were talking about how cold the air is, plus we also have those gusty winds. How cold are we talking for wind chills? In the teens here across the region as we go into Thursday. They start picking up, though, by Friday. So colder air from the north and west still coming this way. Very slowly but surely, we'll eventually see a bit more cold temperatures around the region and say goodbye to some of those warmer temperatures. Here's the 7-day forecast. The big takeaway, behind the shower and thunderstorm chances there from Tuesday night going into early Wednesday, we'll see partly cloudy conditions, 32 degrees, but it'll be cold. We'll start to rebound temperatures towards the end of the forecast. Might see some rain, maybe some snow by the time we get into Sunday. Don't go anywhere. We've got more. Stick around.
This is The Morning Show.
Welcome back to The Morning Show on this Monday. It's a great day to learn about agriculture in Central Illinois. And what better way to do so than with our Ag in the Classroom segment. With me now is Sarah Caper from the Champaign County Farm Bureau Foundation. Sarah, we're in the kitchen today.
We are.
For our Ag in the Classroom lesson because we're making something delicious I think not only the kids would like, but the parents are going to want some too.
They certainly will. Yeah, if you like pumpkin, and most people do, especially this time of year, this is a great recipe to follow. I do this all the time in classrooms, and it's a great thing for kids to do. It doesn't involve a lot of tools, and it's all safe.
Hey, we love that.
For opening the can. So
tastes delicious too.
Yeah, and we call this pumpkin pie in a bag for a reason. We use Ziploc bags for this.
Well, that's perfect.
You know,
I've done ice cream in a bag during the summer, but this is a very fall seasonal way to do the same
seasonal way. Yeah. So the first thing we want to do is crush some graham crackers, and this is a great job for a kiddo too. So I put some. If you have some leftover from s'more season, you can put those in a baggie and have them crush those. And I just was gonna. So you can see how that's done. And then once those are crushed, I have a few here that are not super fine, but put about a teaspoon in each one of those cups then. Okay. And you can probably guess that that's going to form our crust for this dessert that we're going to make. So while you're doing that, I also want to show that we have several ingredients for this pumpkin pie in a bag.
Okay, perfect.
We're using Libby's canned pumpkin. So we've talked about Libby's before. In Morton, Illinois, we grow 90 to 95% of the canned pumpkins that are canned at Libby's company.
And that's